Okay, today it's May 1st, 2020. I'm sure many of us had high hopes and dreams for where they would be at May 1st, 2020. I know I did. But we're looking at a completely different landscape than any of us, besides maybe Alex Jones, could have ever imagined. It's called absolute biological tyranny, and that's what we're facing. Today at City Hall, we went and we protested. The few of us, the strong who show up when no one else will. Me, Tom, Karina, we won't stop. You can't stop us. But we were severely outnumbered. There was 200 cops, 20 socialists, 20 patriots. But we showed up, and it's okay. You know, I have a lot of friends that pay attention to a lot of this stuff, a lot of it. And I was just talking to one, and I was like, you know, Cuomo's going to send out tracers, right? And do you know what a tracer is? You know what a tracer is, right? No. What do you mean by tracers? Well, what I mean by tracers is this. So I'm not too, bam. This is what I mean by tracers. See, what they have is, oh God, this thing has to be in the way. Compulsory selfies, contact tracing. Authorities everywhere are using smartphones to track coronavirus, and it's part of a massive increase in global surveillance. Okay, so, and even Cuomo last year, or was it last year, or I think it was 2018, at the Queens Midtown Tunnel, he had a big old press conference. And they reported that it was $80 billion. The numbers could be off, but they spent so much money on surveillance and facial recognition throughout the whole city, throughout the subways, throughout every single tunnel, every single toll bridge, every single bridge. They have it all monitored. And Cuomo said yesterday via Bloomberg, Vision 2030 Bloomberg, that they're going to send out tracers. Now, so this is how a tracer is going to work. Okay, so I was at City Hall today protesting, okay? And what they're going to do is they're going to say, hey, listen, they're going to pick somebody up. Somebody there, maybe even a cop, somebody had the road. So they're going to say, somebody there had the road. So they're going to be able to check, because all of our phones have GPS, every single person that was at that location today. And then they're going to say, oh, crap. It's an emergency. It's the biggest emergency in human history. We must track everyone down. And then they're going to come to me. And then they're going to say, hey, you were at such and such. We need to test for antibodies. And then, depending on what happens, they're going to say, well, you went to the bodega, you went here, you went there, you crossed paths with this person, you crossed paths with that person. We need to know. We need access to your phone. That's what the tracers are. The tracers are not, your dad had corona. We'd like you to come in and take a test. That's not what the tracers are. The tracers are going to be finding out people who tested positive. They are going to take their phones or just get access to your phone. And they are going to go after every single person you came in contact with. And they're either going to test them for antibodies. They're going to take their DNA. Or voila, they're going to force vaccinate you with a vaccine that hasn't been proven. And we want to get into the vaccine issue. I was talking about this today, and I'm surprised this isn't common knowledge. If you go through an MMR vaccine and you read the inserts, one of the things at the top, and I believe they're like ingredients, like if it's sugar is or soy lectin is the most used thing in the product, that goes at the top. Well, the side effects, and it was in alphabetical order, I should have pulled them up, are diabetes. Okay. And when they came out with that MMR vaccine, that was in the 60s. Well, guess what? By the 70s, type 1 diabetes was a thing. And people had it. People had to deal with it. Nobody knew why, but it was the MMR vaccine. This vaccine that they're going to inflict us with the invisible ink and everything Bill Gates is up to. And what they're going to do is they're going to whittle us down to nothing. Unemployment isn't coming to the point where we can't even afford to escape now. Can't even afford to escape. Can you believe that shit? Can't even afford to escape. They're going to whittle us down to nothing to the point where we say, you know what, if that's what we need to do to get back to normal, if that's what we need to do to get back to our life, then so be it. Just inject me. Just inject me. Just take my DNA for Chinese bioweapon medical research. And what's interesting is China owns the iCloud. They own the iCloud. Do you get that? China owns the iCloud. Once they send out tracers, China's going to know every little thing about us. New York City's dead. It's dead. We'll know in the next 2 weeks. It was Friday, May 1st. I was hanging out in Soho. There was a dentist filling up his car and taking his family to flee the city. Friday afternoon in Soho on May 1st is supposed to be the coolest place in the world, where the most beautiful people on the face of the planet are walking around ready to do their thing this weekend. And all there was one dentist, his super hot wife that was 30 years younger than him, his 2 little kids, and he was going up to Ulster County to get the fuck out of New York City. I've been heeding the warning for a long time, talking about the housing, talking about how the government wants to take it over, and the rent strike, they will. They're waiting for enough turmoil. They're waiting for it to be just painful enough for the landlords that the landlords are going to get a bailout to hand over the property to the government. You watch. Tough times. Unemployment's coming. It's in the mail. Can't even afford to escape.